What if hell isn't some fiery pit you go to when you die? What if you're already in it? Now, this isn't some new hot take from the internet. It's an ancient idea, a secret that was buried for centuries. And it comes from texts that were deliberately hidden away. So let's dig in and see what they have to say.
That's right. You've got these forbidden texts like the Secret Book of John or the Gospel of Philip, and they all make this absolutely shocking claim that our world isn't what we think it is. And you can probably guess why they were locked away. They painted a picture of reality that was radically and, well, dangerously different from the official story.
You see, these texts argue that the creator God many people worship, the one with the thunder and the commandments, isn't the true ultimate source of everything. Not even close. Instead, they say he's a flawed, arrogant, and secondary being, an imposter who mistakenly thinks he's the one and only God.
But here's the thing. These Gospels aren't just about doom and gloom. They're basically a prison break manual. They claim to hold the key, the secret knowledge they called Gnosis, that allows a person to see through the whole illusion, remember where they really come from, and shatter the chains of this counterfeit world.
Okay, so to really get our heads around this worldview, we can't start here, in our messy world. We have to go all the way to the top, to the Gnostic idea of the true reality, something that exists way, way beyond our flawed creator.
And this is where the difference just smacks you in the face. On one side, you have what they call the One, this infinite, perfect, unknowable light that's totally complete and doesn't need a thing from anyone. And on the other side, the familiar image of the biblical creator, a being who acts like a king, a judge, who gets jealous, and who demands to be worshipped. The Gnostics were screaming from the rooftops that these are not the same being.
For the Gnostics, even using the word God was just too small, too limiting to describe the true source. It's not some guy on a throne, it's the very fabric of existence itself. Something so ultimate that our little human words just break when we try to describe it.
And that's the billion-dollar question, isn't it? If the ultimate reality is total perfection, a boundless realm of pure light with no drama, no devils, then how in the world did we end up here, in a place filled with pain and confusion and fear? Well, according to these texts, it all started with a cosmic accident.
This brings us to the Gnostic creation story. And spoiler alert, it isn't a story of divine intention. It's a story about a disastrous mistake, a crack in the cosmic harmony that accidentally gave birth to a monster.
So, the story goes something like this. A divine feminine being named Sophia, which literally means wisdom, decides to create something all by herself, without her cosmic partner. This throws everything out of balance, and instead of something beautiful, she gives birth to this deformed, arrogant creature named Yaldabaoth. She's totally appalled by what she's done, so she casts him out of the divine realm and hides him away in darkness, all alone.
And right here, this is the most explosive claim in all of Gnosticism. This creature, this accidental lion-headed monster, born out of darkness and ignorance, is the being who would later show up and declare himself the creator God of the Bible. Yeah, that guy. The one who said, "Let there be light."
And because he was born in total isolation, with zero knowledge of the higher realm of light that his mother came from, Yaldabaoth genuinely believes he's the only game in town. So he bellows this phrase, a line you hear over and over in the Old Testament, not as some statement of ultimate truth, but as a declaration of pure, absolute ignorance. He literally doesn't know any better. So Yaldabaoth, this flawed little demigod, sets out to create his own kingdom, a kind of counterfeit reality that he can rule over. And this, right here, is where we come in. He builds a cosmic prison, and humanity is placed right at the very center of it.
Just look at this breakdown. The Gnostics basically flipped the script on the entire cosmos. Those 7 heavens people celebrated? Nope. For the Gnostics, they were 7 concentric layers of hell. The planets? They weren't celestial guides. They were thrones for the cosmic prison wardens, these beings called archons. Even time itself is part of the cage, with 365 demons, one for each day of the year, just to keep us locked in. And the human body? Not a temple. It's a tomb.
Okay, now think back to the book of Genesis for a second. The creator says, "Let us make man in our image." It's always been this weird little detail that's puzzled people for centuries. Why the plural? Who's us? Is he talking to angels or something? Well, the Gnostics had a very specific, and honestly, a pretty chilling answer to that question. Who is the us in that sentence?
It's him. It's Yaldabaoth and his crew, the archons. According to these texts, humanity was designed from the very beginning to be a slave race, built to serve the rulers of this material prison and to be mined for the divine light that got trapped down here with us.
So this is the really crucial part. The physical body itself is part of the trap. It's like a coffin made of flesh and bone, a heavy cloak designed to weigh down your spirit and make you forget that you originally came from that infinite realm of light. It's built to keep you chained to this cycle of birth, death, and suffering.
Okay, I know, this all sounds incredibly bleak. A cosmic prison run by an ignorant tyrant, but the story doesn't end there. Because if there's a prison, there has to be a key. And for the Gnostics, that key was a very special kind of knowledge.
And that word is Gnosis. It's a Greek word that means knowledge, but we're not talking about book smarts or trivia here. This means a direct, intuitive, personal experience of your own inner divinity. It's that aha moment when you stop just believing you have a spark of God inside you and you know it because you felt it. That knowing is what sets you free.
And this path looks totally different from mainstream religion. For them, the core problem isn't sin, it's spiritual amnesia. The solution isn't to become holy by following a bunch of external rules, but to become whole by healing the divisions inside yourself. In this view, Christ wasn't some sacrifice to be worshipped. He was a spiritual guide who came to wake people up by sharing this secret gnosis. The goal wasn't to follow Christ, it was to become a Christ yourself.
And what's wild is how practical this stuff could be. Some of these texts, like the first Apocalypse of James, are basically travel guides for the afterlife. They contain literal passwords, cheat codes. The idea is, when your soul leaves the body and gets stopped by the Archon guards, you're taught to declare, "I am a son from the pre-existent Father," basically asserting your divine passport and proving you don't belong to their kingdom.
So the path seems pretty clear. Get Gnosis, remember who you are, and get the heck out of here. But some of these forbidden gospels hinted an even deeper, more profound purpose. What if the mission isn't just about a personal escape plan?
This quote from the Gospel of Thomas just flips the whole thing on its head, doesn't it? The kingdom of heaven isn't some destination you go to after you die. It's a state of perception. It's right here, right now, layered on top of our reality, but we're too asleep, too trapped in the system to actually see it. It's all around us, just hidden in plain sight.
And that leaves us with the ultimate Gnostic secret. Maybe the goal isn't to abandon this world and leave it to rot. Maybe the real mission for someone who's woken up is to stay, to bring that light of Gnosis into this darkness, and by doing so, to actively transform the prison into a paradise. The point isn't to run away from hell, it's to remake it, right here and now, into the heaven it was always meant to be.